Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to continue our NFL predictions with the Seattle Seahawks, a team that honestly I don't know how to grasp the Seahawks this year. Part of me want to say it was a disappointment year because they went 9-8 and missed the playoffs this time. But part of me want to say I kind of expected that this was going to happen to them. Year two in the Geno Smith rebirth, and while Geno Smith was okay this year, it did had some wrinkles and setbacks, to say the least. Honestly, I don't know where Seattle's gonna go in this season. They could be back in the elite class, but they could go into a rebuild. It's your choice, Seattle. It's your choice. And when you look at their schedule, it kind of was all over the place. Okay, they did start off the season pretty good. They started off 5-2, only losing to the Rams and Bengals in the midst of those weeks. But I felt like after they got destroyed by the Baltimore Ravens week 9, things just kind of fell apart. They lost, I mean, sure, they beat the Commanders the next week, but they had a 4-game losing streak where they lost to the 49ers twice, lost to the Rams, and then got ref balled against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, they tried to salvage the season in the end by getting a shocking win over the Philadelphia Eagles and Tennessee Titans. But that game against the Steelers is what's going to come back and haunt them. We'll talk about that game in a bit. And even though they beat the Cardinals, it was not enough for them to make the playoffs this time. Now for the highlights. Okay, their throwbacks might be one of my favorite throwbacks looks in the league. I can't. I got it. It looks very nice. I like it. Also, but back to football. Jackson Smith-Njigba's touchdown against the Eagles that temporarily saved their season, and it was almost kind of like a miracle win touchdown as they beat a collapsing Eagles team. As for the lowlights, they got swept by the Rams. That's not a good look. They got destroyed by the Ravens on the road. That was an ugly look. And then they lost to the Steelers. And the reason why I said losing to the Steelers was a bad thing to happen to them, because I think when they lost, Green Bay won that week, and Green Bay was able to leapfrog them into into that postseason race. They had to hope that Green Bay lost to the Bears, but that didn't happen. If they would have beaten the Steelers, they pretty much would have coasted into the wild card round and play against the Dallas Cowboys. What could have been. And now looking at their acquisitions, and they didn't have much either. They added Sam Howell and Rayshawn Jenkins, with the latter coming from Jacksonville. But the losses really tell the story here. And it starts off with their head coach, Pete Carroll. While he didn't really announce his retirement, he decided to take the team agreed on an in-office consulting role for them. They also lost Damian Wilson to Carolina. Drew Lock is now in New York with the Giants. DJ Dallas is now in the Cardinals. Will Disley, I believe he's with the Chargers now. Kobe Parkinson's gone. Jordan Brooks is gone. And Bobby Wagner is once again out as he's playing with Washington to rejoin his defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. Now in the draft, they took defensive tackle Byron Murphy to fix their run defense because that was pretty rough. In fact, they also took Christian Hayes, a guard from UConn, and honestly, they didn't really not doing any significant picks. There are not any too many big names out there. I do recognize DJ James for Auburn, though. I do recognize his name. So Seattle, under new head coach Mike Macdonald, are they going to be a rebuild team, or they're going to be a team that could surprise everyone? Honestly, I'm going to be surprised on how this prediction goes. Let's take a look. Okay, Seattle, let's take a look at your schedule. The Pete Carroll era is over, and they're now moving on to the new era of Seattle football. And it's going to start off with the Denver Broncos week 1. And hopefully their opening day will go much better than the last time we saw them. But I still think the result will still be the same. I am taking Seattle to win at home. It's just super tough for me to take a Seattle team when they're playing in Seattle. Week 2 against New England. I think this is where New England gets one of their very rare wins. Because, again, even though I like Seattle a lot, that team still has a lot of unknowns that I'm just unsure about. And then I got them losing at home to the Miami Dolphins. And week 4 against the Detroit Lions. Sorry, I got to give them a win here. So a 1-3 start for Seattle. Yeah, not quite ideal for them. But hey, they are going to get a win over... Don't worry, got them a week 5 win over the New York Giants. And a week 6 home win. They could finally get over the hump over the San Francisco 49ers. Then they have Atlanta on the road. This one's another tricky little game. While I do like Atlanta in this one, I think Seattle might sneak out on the road to win this one. Week 8, already predicted Buffalo Bills to get a win in Seattle. Week 9, how about another home loss for Seattle, this time in the hands of the Los Angeles Rams. Because that's one team that does know how to play in Seattle. And that takes us to week 11. And 49ers are going to revenge their Thursday night loss to them. But week 12, they are going to get a win over the Arizona Cardinals. Week 13 against the New York Jets. The Geno Smith revenge game. Make me want to take Seattle to win on the road. I'm also going to give them a road win over the Arizona Cardinals because that's another place where Seattle always plays well in. Week 15 against the Green Bay Packers. How about a Seattle win? And then a week 16 win over the Minnesota Vikings. Week 17 against the Bears Thursday night. I already gave Seattle a surprising road win here. And Seattle's going to win on the road against the Rams in the regular season finale. And wow, 11-6. That record really surprised me with Seattle. Maybe because before their bye week they lost a lot of games. But I think the Mike Macdonald era could get off to the right foot. So tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Gamble safely. And I'll see you next time.